What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking about the one time my teacher got me in trouble for no reason. Like, I got suspension for something I didn't even do, and it was pretty fun. It was a pretty funny situation. All respect to Ray. Ray, you know who you are. You know I love you, man. I gotta tell the story. I know I hang out with you. Know I hang out with your past students and everything, but I still gotta tell the story. The one time you got me in trouble for nothing. So let's get straight into it. So this happened during I believe it was junior year, right? And I had this presentation in one of my classes, which was my financial literacy class. And so in my financial literacy class, my teacher, she always brought in people that talked about, real telling or people who worked in life insurance, people who worked in the business, she'll bring them over and we could do like a little field trip thing where we're able to stay after class and watch these people talk about their jobs, see if we were interested. And so I brought this piece of paper to Ray. I'm like, hey Ray, I'm gonna stay after class during this. Is that okay? He was like, yeah, sure. Like, you're good for this period, right? So I thought everything was all good in games. The day comes where the teacher brings in, you know, the presentation of people, and I believe it was a retailer that day. So during my financial literacy period, the retailer comes in. He's like a solid 20, 30 minutes late. That was like a partial period of ours. Like that was half a period. So where I went to school, we had 7 periods throughout the day, and each period was at least 45 minutes long. So he kind of wasted half of a period already, and I was like, damn, like we're not gonna get through this and that. After a solid 10, 15 minutes of him, presenting, he still had like a whole other 40 minutes left, and I was gonna go straight through race period. So now I'm like, damn, Ray's gonna get upset, like I might get in trouble for this. And Ray loved me. I was like one of his favorite students at the time. And thing is, even though I was one of his favorite students, Ray always had a no tolerance policy where he didn't care who you were. If you didn't show up to class and he saw that you were attending school that day, he was gonna write you up. He didn't care. And so after the retailer does his thing, I go to my financial literacy teacher. I'm like, hey, I'm in so and so's class. Ray's gonna be pretty upset. Are you able to send him an email, let him know that it extended further than usual because his class period already ended. My financial literacy teacher's like, yeah, all right, no, that's okay. I'll let him know. I'll contact the office and let them know. So I'm like, okay, everything should be good between me and Ray. No issues. And so the next day I come to school, and I'm in my second period, I believe. And so I get called to the office with my stuff and everything. And as I'm going into the office, I see the dean. The dean calls me in. He was like, "So you're skipping class now, huh?" And I'm mad confused, because I'm staring at the dean. I'm like, "No, I wasn't skipping, Like, what you mean? What you mean I'm skipping?" And he goes on this rant saying, "Oh, like our teacher wrote you up for not showing up to class, And I tried explaining to him the situation. So I was like, "No, no, 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 this happened, Like he can contact my teacher." And the dean tells me to shut up and sign a paper saying that I skipped, right? And I'm looking at the dean, I'm flabbergasted that he just told me to shut up. The guy wasn't having a good day. And like, I get it. If you're a dean, it's your job to enforce the rules and whatnot. But still, man, I was trying to explain to him the situation. And then, I refused to sign the paper. And I told him that, I'm not gonna sign this paper, like it's not true. You can contact my teacher, like she'll let you know, like it's a whole misunderstanding. And then he proceeds to tell me if you don't sign this paper, you're gonna get suspended, like outside of school. But if you sign it, you get in school suspension. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not signing it. So he's like, okay then, well, leave my office. You're going home. So I pack up my things. I'm going home. I'm pretty upset. And so I remembered, like, oh it's shit, I have a mother. And so I contact my mother. I'm like, hey mom, I just got suspended. And thing is, I grew up in a Mexican household, and so my mother was very very strict in school. And she was flabbergasted at the fact that I just got suspended. Like that was my first suspension. No, that was my second suspension after the fight I had in middle school. So this is during high school, and this is my second ever suspension, and she is pissed. And she's like, "What did you do?" And like, I explained to her the situation, that it wasn't my fault, that I was getting in trouble for nothing. And then she's like, "You know what? Okay, I'll be there." And so after a solid like 20 minutes, I get called down to the office, right? And then the dean's there talking to my parents. And the thing is, my mom, even though she's very short, she's like 5'1", my mother is the type of woman that does not give two fucks, Like she'll tell you straight up to her face what she's thinking. And so the dean proceeded to tell them that, oh, that I got suspended for skipping class. And so I'm looking at the dean and I'm like, no, that's not true though. And there's like a translator there, like one of the ladies, and I low key kind of feel bad because she's like talking to me in Spanish, and I should have told her, I was like, hey, I understand Spanish, don't talk to me. And like I know it was wrong of me to say that, you know. Even the dean was like held back from that because everyone in the office knew me as a good kid because I was a intern. I would always help out with things around the school, you know. So everyone was taken aback. Oh, that voice crack! Holy shit! Anyways, everybody was taken aback from the fact that I said something, you know, in that aspect, and they were not happy. But she was like, "No, no, no! Like he's upset. I get why he's upset." And then my mom looks me dead in my eye, and she's like, "Carlos, is it true?" I was like, "No, ma'am." Because seeing as I've always had high respects towards my mother, and she knows if I'm lying or not, right? And so she looks at the dean, and she's like, "Well, I don't think my son's lying. And so if you're gonna give him out school suspension, we're gonna take this up with, you know, the school board, because we knew one of the members of the school board directly, you know, and he was like kind of upset that my mom was threatening him with that, and he was like, you know what, he can leave for the day then. Let him leave. He's got suspension for 3 days now. And I was like, you know what? Okay, whatever. So I got suspended for 3 days, and I guess when I come back, the dean calls me back up, and he's like, listen, kid, I've understood the situation. You know, we contacted the attendants, and turns out you were right, and I'm sorry for all of that, this, and that. And I was pissed, but you know, I told him, hey man, like it's all good. Like I get it, things happen, but man, I was telling you to check, man. Come on, you know. He was like, yeah, yeah, I know, I know. I was like, exactly. So if you know, like, why don't you say anything, man? God damn. It is what it is, though. And so I'll go back to Ray, and I talked to Ray, and I was pretty mad at Ray. I didn't talk to him for the whole class period, and he could tell I was pretty upset, and it was like kind of awkward on my end. You know, I guess Ray didn't care, but it was kind of awkward. But then Ray decided to break the ice by making a joke on me. You know, like it's all good, man. You know, pretty good. And obviously, you know, that happened years ago. And yeah, so I graduated now. Ray, I just want to say you suck for that day. I'm pretty upset, you know, but it is what it is. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like, subscribe. And if you guys don't, your mom's a hoe. And if you guys don't, you guys are gonna get suspension. If you go to school, if you go to college, you're getting expelled. I don't care. So make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.